day, viewer at home, and you're welcome to another edition of The Amazon, coming to you live on the Precision TV. The Amazon is a program where we celebrate women who have made their marks in their professions and even in the society at large. And today with me on the program is a retired teacher who, after retirement, has ventured into lecturing. You know, I think she doesn't want to just sit at home after teaching, since the thing is already in the blood. So she picked up lecturing as a profession immediately after retirement. And she's no other person than Mrs. Christiana Adeola, who will be with me on the show today, as she will be discussing her experience as a teacher back then in the secondary school teaching line, then now in the higher institution. So why not sit back and stay glued to the program as we journey together on this wonderful edition. I am Hayobamiji Komolafe. So, who exactly is Mrs. Christiana Adeola?
It's the very person you are talking to.
So, can we know more about you, your growing up, your childhood days, and your career? Then how far you've gone in your career? Are you fulfilled? Well, let's start first with your childhood days. How was it like?
My childhood days were full of ups and downs. I lived with a first cousin whom I believe, if it were now, she might probably be accused of child abuse. I didn't really grow up with my parents. I was with them for a while, then I moved to where that first cousin of mine was.
But what led to the movement?
It was just, I think I would call it a childish attachment. I lived with her mother. Then when she got married, because I was always with her, when she was a young lady, whenever she was going out, she would take me along. So I felt that I felt that she was my sister. So we always go out together. So when she got married, I felt that I missed her. One day the mother sent me to take something to her, something like food. So when I got to her, I refused to return home. That was how I started living with her.
Alright, so it was not because of financial constraint or whatever?
No, I was the one that took myself to her.
Alright.
Because of the former attachment I had.
Okay. And what about your educational life?
Yeah, I will go back to her again. Now I'm saying things that relate to her because that was where my younger days actually started. I would say my primary school experience started with her. She was not really keen sending me to school until the mother-in-law encouraged her to see my father and confirm whether my father would be ready to send me to school. So we went, and my father said if the child wanted to go to school, let her go. That was how I started schooling. So from primary 1, I was in primary 1 till primary 6, and I stayed just one term in the old secondary modern school before my brother took me to Zaria. So it was in Zaria I went through primary 7 before I gained admission to Teachers Training College. That was grade 2 then, where I had 5 years training as a teacher.
So back then the primary school education was up to 7 years, like the normal primary 1 to 6?
No, it was down south, especially in the west. It was primaries 1 to 6. After primary 1 to 6, you can go to secondary modern school, or if you are lucky to gain admission to secondary school. But it was in the north that primary 7 was still existing by the time I went. That was 1966.
Alright, so after your primary education, and which line of career did you choose as a person?
Well, I wouldn't say I chose any career I didn't have any particular career in mind because the idea then was that I just wanted to go to school. So, but my brother was the one that was monitoring my educational experience. So he sent me to a teacher's training college, which was grade 2, and it was a 5 year course, which I went through. And by the end of it, I became a grade 2 teacher. So I discovered that I love teaching after I was in that college. But in the primary school, there were teachers in training at Ikare then, which was TTC. They usually come to my school when I was in the primary school at home. That was Ikare. So I was attracted to the way they organized teaching, especially physical and health education. Then the teaching in the class was very nice, and any poor child can learn. So I was attracted to it, but I didn't know it was a teacher training institution they were. I just saw that they were in school and I was interested. So by the time I got to school at Kaduna, when I started my grade 2, it was in form 3 that I realized I was in the teachers training college. So I was happy that I saw my seniors going for teaching practice, and they were doing more or less the same thing my teachers were doing when I was in the primary school. So it was from there I developed the interest for teaching. So that would be the time I would say I realized I was in a teaching career.
So your brother actually chose the best career for you as a person, and he didn't mislead you in any way. No. And that is good that you actually developed passion for
teaching.
Yes. Afterwards.
Yes.
So what's so special about teaching as a profession? Is there anything special about it? What distinguishes it from every other career we have in the society today?
Personally, I would still say I will continue to be a teacher all my life, because I realized that imparting knowledge to people is a great asset that God has given to anybody that goes along that line. So I realized that, teaching especially is far different from any other career I can think of. Though all areas, when you talk about a medical line, it's a special area. When you talk about anything that is outside teaching, it's a career. But teachers bring up all this group of people, because teachers are the ones that lay foundation for any other career.
And how has it been? What have you experienced so far as a teacher?
Yeah. I want to say that I enjoyed teaching, and I am still enjoying it up till now. And I have learned a lot from teaching, to know people by behavior, and I have met young people who were my students, who were brilliant, and relating with children right from time was part of my interest. Let me call it a sort of hobby. Then when I found myself teaching, I was able to relate with students, just like I would relate with, not children per se, not my children per se, but I just discovered that I enjoy being with them, and I have not regretted it. I have a lot of them out there in the world. Many have risen, and each time I come across them, I feel very happy that I've contributed to their life as what God had given me the opportunity to do to human beings around me.
It's good to know that you have a lot to really say about your profession, and you've achieved a lot even in this profession. And yes, I appreciate the fact that after retiring, you are still into the profession in one way, yes, or the other. But we'd like to go on a break now, and when we come back, we'll ask you other questions we have for you, and I know you're ready and you are equipped even to give us answers to those questions. Even as our viewer at home will pick a note or two from your world of experiences which you have to share with us. Go on a short break now. When we are back, we'll continue with this program still on the Hamizon.